Hello and welcome back to Conelanders League. We are in our final event of the season here at Mount Panorama, probably the best circuit in the world. Here in the commentary box, the pundit, the asshole, and somehow still employed, Mathew Ruda.
Hi guys, what's up? As we see cars already scraping the wall. What the fuck is going on? I might be drinking.
Aren't we all? Also, we still have the guest commentator here today, Trempale.
Hello, and this is not gonna be fun for me. For you it will be, but we're gonna find out, I guess.
We definitely will, and I'm Ilya Babansky. Today we're gonna see both races, sprint and the feature race. The sprint race will be first with 8 laps, same temperature as in the previous events, 21 degrees Celsius air temperature, so that's probably the coldest day in a year here in Australia. And
Yeah, some guys probably woke up, went to the stands, were like, mate, it's fucking cold out here. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, and we're gonna see the cars qualifying for now, and also regarding the jittering, that's gonna be here for the first half. This is the replay that was recorded by one of the drivers, Psychedelics, and Assetto Corsa does not handle replays, like, at all, so
Yeah, period.
the footage is gonna get better later on. But for now, we're gonna review the season up to this weekend. We have season battle screen right here. The battle for second is raging. We have Piker with 432 points. Right behind him is Magneto S. 2 points behind is Gem Knight, and 2 more points behind is Gunsis. So that's BMW versus Lambo. The Powerhouse versus I'm gonna break in 3, 2, 1. Oh shit! And this is gonna get really exciting, since this track really fits both in completely different sections.
It really fits all 4 cars in completely different sections, which is unique quality. It's something we thought we might see a bit at Le Mans, but it turns out that was a bit too powerful. But no, this battle will definitely be interesting. 4 solid drivers. You have Piker up there, the best rookie of last season, battling it out against some more experienced heads, some wiser heads, and we'll have to see what they make of it. Bitchin' livery there on Piker's car.
Absolutely.
I think we can... Oh, sorry.
Yeah, keep going.
I think we can compare Bathurst with Spa from the... like how all cars work, or like how quick they are, how balanced it is, if you know what I mean.
Maybe. Well, there are two long straights apart from compared to one in Spa, so the Lambo and more likely the Merc is gonna benefit from it more compared to Spa, and the mountain is a bit slower than the whole complex at Spa, as we see the other season battle, which is Cone, Dodger in 6th, and the Holy Moose and Mr. Bob tied for 7th right behind them, and we're gonna talk about that in a second. But yeah, it's a bit different. It's a bit slower on the mountain and a bit faster on the straightaway, so it's gonna be a bit of I don't know, clearer difference within the 2 halves of a track.
Yeah, it's definitely a more defined difference. Each half definitely suits one car's strength, and it's showcased there, rather. Spa sort of kind of smooths it all out a little bit. Yeah, you still see the difference, but if you think about it, you can never really get up to a Lambo top speed at Spa's Kemmel Straight. BMW's braking, yeah, that's good there, but then in other areas it wasn't so hot. It was more balanced, I think, but in a different sort of way. In Bathurst, it's balanced in that everyone is strong at some point on the track, everyone is weak at some point.
Which will probably end up with more overtaking opportunities and more overtakes if somebody dares to overtake on the mountain. I know a certain American will overtake anywhere, but
A certain Russian.
Not everyone has balls as big and mind as small. Either way.
Way to dampen a compliment, you asshole.
I couldn't let myself just
No.
give away a
So, in
compliment.
any note, New Year's Day is coming up, so happy 2017 to everybody, if all of you end up somehow surviving 2016. Trempale, did you get every woman that you love a chastity belt for the celebrations?
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
sure. Always.
Can never be too safe in Germany. As we see the another season battle here between 10th, 11th, and 12th. This one is our resident Russian, Georgian, trying to hijack 10th place from the other two, Neon Tiger and Mr. Tommy's. All three in BMWs. All three with up and down seasons at different points. Interestingly enough, I think you, Georgian, are beating Neon just on best result. Tie points.
Yes, indeed. With tie points, it was the higher single performance that is skipping me in 10th, but again, this is the mountain, anything can happen. I'm usually strong here, but it's Conelanders, it's Bathurst, and pretty much everybody can hug the wall at one point or the other. As we see, another point right here is less cubes in a Corvette C7R, so there's gonna be 5 cars represented on this track for some ungodly reason. So that's abomination.
Did we ever figure out what that was, or is it just a mystery of history?
The Muscaboos. That's what caused it.
Ooh.
The
I thought I'd taken care of that long ago.
oh God. The abomination of American automation. That is this Corvette,
Fuck you.
which is completely unable to turn unless, well, it's left and banked.
Did you watch the freaking Grand Tour?
Yes, I
Hammond
did.
turned it right too, damn it, and then made an ice cream joke that everyone got triggered by.
Absolutely.
Well, about the fight for the 10th place, it's actually a fight for the 9th place as well. Because I think I was in 9th, but I wasn't racing this week.
Very true. Unfortunate incident in real life, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
not gonna-
you had, I believe, 18-point gap to 10th place, and everybody was gunning for the 9th and 10th as a result. 18 points is still a gap, not a big one, but you still you still need to finish properly to gain that position. We also skipped a little bit of a conversation between the battle of 2 Glicken houses and another Lamborghini. Glick is, I believe, gonna struggle a little bit here.
Yeah, it's not really a downforce-based track. The 2 downforce corners that I can think of are Griffins, and then oh shit, the one leading right before Skyline. That big left turn complex. I forget what it's called, to be honest. Those are really 2 downforce corners, and you'd think the Glick would be strong here, but in practice, I gave it a run, and it really didn't fully. It really didn't fully do what I thought it was going to do. We missed another battle there. I'll let you take that one, Jordan.
That'll be Panda, Smart Pipe, Mark 1 Fireman, and somebody else who didn't have time to read about that. That'll be
Mac?
the fight. Yeah, that'll be the fight for the end of the 17th to 20th place. And despite it being lower in the field, it's still a tight battle, and this is gonna come out to who screws up the least in the mountain. It is effective for everyone, but in the fights for later positions down the line, it's all more important. Just stay clear.
Especially seeing as a lot of times when you sort of get into the midfield, lower midfield, having spent a few races down there myself, things get pretty brutal pretty quickly. We all like to joke about, everyone hitting everyone and all this blah blah blah, but up in the upper half, it's pretty sedate. But down there, man, people are fighting tooth and nail as we see another battle down there. Not like that. I think he's still underage. Marzen 224 and Powers 2,440. 2 points separating the 2 Glicks. It'll be interesting to see. We know Marzen's error prone. We can joke about that until the next second coming. The next second. I'll shut up.
Good job.
Thank you. And Powers has had a bit of a rough end to the season, if I remember correctly. A couple bad results that weren't necessarily down to him, I think. Or that could be the alcohol talking. I don't know.
The whole team Beer and Whiskey has been on a bit of a spiral lately and would like to bounce back to get some positions back in the team standings as well. And Team UK is promptly set in 6th position, but still not safe for now. So that's going to be another degree of that battle.
Yeah, for sure. It'll definitely be interesting. And finally, I think as we go down to the arse end of the field, we have Carl PC 200 and Mr. Ronak tied for 24th position. PC leading on results. I have to say, biased as I am because, well, he's on our team, Ronak actually has had a couple decent drives this season that were sort of downplayed by A, getting involved in silly incidents, and B, just general bad luck, it seems.
Yeah, he's been snake bitten for a little bit, especially during the starts, because he seemed to be taken out pretty much every other race.
Yeah.
And
then the other half, he's taking someone else out.
Yeah, pretty much. If he stayed clean, it would have been definitely higher up the field. But I guess that also applies to quite a few drivers in the back of the field.
For sure. He's a rookie, though, and hopefully he'll sort his shit out for the next season. Yeah, I'd be fine with having him in the team again. I mean, good driver. Nice dude. Canadian. That's his only disadvantage.
And with that said, we have our grid for the sprint race. Sharky is leading the field with Mr. Bob alongside.
Gem Knight and Holy Moose make up row 2.
Then we have Psychedelics and Maestro.
Biker is starting 7th with Magnetos alongside him.
Hello Kitty in 9th place with D-Jump next to him in 10th.
And then we have Jordan and Gunchis.
Mr. Tommy starts with Powers to Foy on the 7th row.
The slow-ass American next to Smart Pipe.
Then we have Sabi and Nihon Tiger.
Right behind them, Carl BC200 and Mark 1 Fireman.
21st position will be Panda with 22nd going to Rotor X2.
Then we have NCW and Marson.
And in the rear field, Les Q's and Rebel Cowboy SMB.
that icon was class.
Yeah. I had to.
Professionals. So, we're here on the grid. It should be an exciting race. The sprint race is going to get a little bit chaotic. Remember, finishing position of the sprint race determines starting position for the feature. And with a lot of points to go and a lot of positions to be gained, people are not going to be playing nice. This should be really fun to watch.
Very true. The race towards Hell Corner is going to be, albeit short, a very interesting one.
It's going to be hell.
Yeah, and the exit is more important than the entrance because of a huge-ass mountain straight, and if you bog down, if you get onto the grass, or even worse, into the wall there, it's gonna be a bad day in the office.
Yeah, as we have lights. That was your cue to say something witty, Trempale. You failed. Oh, God. So you have 5 red lights, and we're about to go racing here at Bathurst. We are go! As it seems like a good start for most of the front runners. It looks like Piker Piker got a good start. As we go to Hell Corner, it's a short one. It's a short run, as we already have some...
Oh!
Two Lamborghinis taking each other out.
Hello Kitty got triggered. Hello Kitty got triggered all up into another Lamborghini shit. As this is going to really scramble the field, as everyone and their mother is fighting for real estate. It's a very narrow track, this, as we see... Okay, that was just lag.
That's
I was like,
not gonna end well.
Losing control at this point in the race.
Yeah, there's going to be a bit of it in this
Oh!
race.
In the background we could see a little bit of Calamity.
Yeah, I think I saw somebody jumping up. Oh, we have
It's the jump.
spinning. That would be the Cotton, and that's a terrible place to spin, especially with dozens of cars streaming behind you.
It was good for me. I found the 12 inches that worked, and I'm like, fuck it, here we go.
I can incorporate a joke there. Either way.
It's me. There's no way in hell it would be 12 inches. Anyway.
No, you found someone. Either way, a couple of cars bouncing off the wall in Frog Hollow, heading into McPhillamy Park. That's gonna be another theme of the weekend,
Nope.
as
Yeah.
more cars are glitching on the background.
I'm not that bad of a driver, I think.
Yeah, not so sure about that. Either way, the first lap after the initial run up the mountain seems to be a bit calmer as somebody decides to grind the rail at Forest Elbow. But we're heading towards the chase, but before it, we're gonna see a couple of replays from the starts. We're gonna see the Hello Kitty number 16 car of Holy Moose, who had a kerfuffle with Maestro. Got a bit wide, and Maestro had absolutely no business being there.
No, quick reactions there to get the hell out of the field, but yeah, that was a dive and a half as we see more calamity further down the field. That car is giving me a seizure just looking at it. What the hell? It's like the BMW art car took a dose of LSD and then vomited.
That is the new tactic for Mercedes. If you can't win, kill him. As we see the view from Les Cube's Corvette that did not avoid the wreck in turn
And nobody
2.
avoided him.
Yeah, that was a very, very interesting crash right there.
Yeah, it looked like just the entire field was just like, hey, let's run into him.
Pretty much. As we see Mathew Torres, number 42 in the Lamborghini, being in the midfield, pretty much behind the head of a train, led by you at the moment.
Choo choo.
Pretty much everyone ahead of you managed to get ahead and out of the way, as everybody behind you is pretty much stuck, and the only chance to get ahead is on the straightaway, because no chance in hell anybody's passing on the mountain. As Magnet is trying to do exactly that and gets booted out of the way. That
Yeah,
was
Let's see a
creative
replay of
defense.
that.
If you can't beat him, kill him, as you said. Yeah,
Well,
no,
that's-
he didn't really
Go ahead.
show there. We might get a view on board later. But yeah, he was trying to pass me on the right-hand side. I tried to flick back quick to get into his draft, and I really fucked up my estimation of where he was. And so I hit him before he'd even cleared me.
Basically, you
Fun
pit
in my
maneuvered
ground,
him. What you're saying?
No, I pit stopped him. Or what is Martin call
Pit
it?
stop maneuvered, yes.
Yeah, pit stop maneuver.
Oh god. We continue in lap 2, and Jesus fucking Christ, that Hello Kitty car completed an overtake in Grivens round the outside. That's not what you say every day.
Yes. We're about halfway through lap, Jesus fucking Christ.
To
I
be
think
honest,
we have some,
that's every single
fight.
lap in Bathurst.
Yeah, pretty much.
we have a pretty good fight going on in second place. I think we have Mr. Bob, Gen Knight, and Psychedelics catching up to those two. I think it's going to be really interesting how the BMW does between those two SGs on the straight.
Yeah, very true. That's gonna be an interesting one, especially since the Glickenhaus doesn't have any advantages here, but the BMW is not good except from braking, which is not gonna help that much either. And oh Jesus Christ, Mr. Thomas decided to not give Matt any space right there and just swiped him out of the way to gain the lead in the train. And number 91 car is under attack from Maestro now in his Martini liveried Lamborghini.
And we're going to find out if this Lamborghini survives.
No guarantees. What time are we on again? I had a hitch in the video. Professionals, I know.
That's gonna end well. 1846 as of yet. As side by side goes Maestro with Matt, goes ahead even before the corner.
Oh, I thought you went straight.
Yeah, kind of swipes the BMW a little bit wide. Goes for a crossover. Nothing here, no space at all heading into turn 3 and 4. He tries to look for the inside pass, but still nothing, as Lamborghini gains 9th position as of now.
I had problems with my brakes the entire race. The mountain straight that you saw there, and going into
That's a poor
What's that?
excuse.
what's the shut up, asshole. The very final chicane, the new one after the straight. What's that one called?
Chicane. Which one?
Whatever that chicane is called. I had to brake 50 meters earlier than a lot of people. I never really got a setup I was happy with here. I was really strong on the mountain, which made me happy, but then, yeah, just other places I was so weak. So you'll see a sort of concertina effect throughout this entire race. I could never really pull away from the train behind me, but they couldn't really catch me up either because I would just block the shit out of them.
That's pretty much your entire tactic this entire season, really. Get ahead and block the shit out of everyone. As
Yeah, and sometimes my teammate comes behind and touches my rear.
Oops. Gemnite is still right behind Mr. Bob, looking for space to pass. Psychedelics and Piker are a little bit behind, and Piker is not anymore under the attack from me and Spooky Squid, who are having a little bit of kerfuffle between ourselves. As we see Jump getting utterly rear-ended, that is... Yeah,
who touched him? I didn't even see a car hit him.
Yes, I don't know. That looked like either a Merc or a BMW, judging by the body. But it was not pleasant.
No, definitely not.
Where's our sound?
Yeah, the replays in sprint won't have sound.
Okay.
Replay issues, thanks Kunos. As Magnet lost it in a weird place, really. I don't see
I can understand him losing it there. It depends on how confident you are going into the first left-hander and if you are turning and braking at the same time.
What the fuck happened there?
What the fuck?
I think he went into the stratosphere for a second before completely ignoring the chase and realizing there's no tire barrier there, so you can cut the entire chase pretty much. Or you would have been able to cut. You would have been able to cut if the gravel in Assetto Corsa wasn't literally a pool of glue. As Jump kisses another wall, and we see a replay from Gunsis, who is touching the wall inappropriately, which sends him into the other one and into the gravel trap at the top of a mountain.
Smart move there, not trying to make the turn, just letting it drift into the gravel, otherwise he would have spun the car. As we now see, is this another train moment? No, this is you, I think, isn't it? This is Spooky Squid behind you.
It is, it absolutely is. This is the fight for 6th position.
So we got a 5th, 6th, and 7th all in a fight. Piker looks to have the measure of you at the moment, but Spooky looks to have a view of your ass. He's going to try the outside overtake. Can be done here, but it disadvantages, I can English, you for this next little run up to the mountain. Can you make anything happen? No. Ooh, maybe. No. You think better of it, unlike me, who decides, when I go, I go.
Yeah, reconsidered the move, wasn't alongside him by the moment of turn-in, and better be safe than sorry knowing how certain people turn in, and no dive bombs there. You're also a couple of seconds behind. Either way,
I can fix that easy.
Mr. Bob and Gemnite still jostling for 2nd position in the race. Sharky has a healthy gap already. We're halfway through the sprint race. The feature race will be double that distance, so, well, by 25% mark, Sharky would have been gone. And pretty much you can celebrate the victory already. And here, we have Glickenhaus in 2nd place, which is really surprising to me personally.
Yeah, I mean, it's not as disadvantaged as it is on some tracks. And we did see how strong they were in Lasarth when we had the long, long straights. We kind of got a little bit of that here, not as extreme for sure, but they seem to be, it seems like we said, it's more of a level playing field for the different makes. It comes down to the drivers a lot more, and we have a strong performance here.
Very true. Mr. Bob has been one of the stronger competitors, and I believe the car is what screwed him out of the very top positions sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Its reliability and tire issues did not work.
Yeah.
Whoa! As speaking of issues, there is some courtesy of Gemnite, who I believe tapped him into the wall.
It didn't look like a touch there, but again, with lag and all that, I really can't tell.
I will need to see a replay of that. Either way, Mr. Bob has lost a few positions. He is down in 7th right now, in between 2 trains.
Yep, pretty much. I think I'm back in sync now. We're seeing Spooky. Is it Spooky Squid?
That
Wait,
would
did
be
he overtake you?
Moose.
Yeah.
That would be Moose.
No, it's Moose.
Attacking Carl. There are 2 Hello Kitty cars this weekend, number 16 and number 27. Moose, after the incident in turn 1, is trying to make his way back through the field. He's currently 13th, and looking at the rear of Carl PC's BMW, plotting an overtaking maneuver. He is looking... Jesus Christ.
And Moose is... Oh god, Moose has to do another recovery
Whoa.
drive. He had to do that in the last couple of races a lot.
Yeah, Moose is. We see. Well,
Oh,
yeah, it's all going off now.
Well, now there's gonna be a few Discord noises courtesy of Matt, as we continue.
Yeah, Mister, not professional, not muting your shit. I'm gonna call your phone. Hang on.
You do not know my number. If you do
NSA
know my
does.
number, I'm throwing the shit out of the window. I'm warning you right now. Either way, I think we lost Carl somewhere along the way. I wasn't really paying attention. Yeah, there he is. As Moose has a little bit of clear space right now, his next target will be Powers 2 for 40. As we see a couple of replays, first of all, that's Mr. Tommy's in a BMW number 81 going through McPhillamy Park. A little bit of a gravel.
wide.
And that's very, very late on the braking, and that's not surprising that he's gone. Very, very late.
Yep.
Whoa, very close. And he's facing the wrong... Is he reversing? What the fuck are you doing? Whoa, blocks the shit out of my... What are you doing, kid? Jesus
Tommy's.
Christ.
That's not how you. This is just not how you. That's not how you.
You don't reverse down the mountain. As
this
Martin
Martin?
dive
I was
bombs
about
the
to say.
shit out of a Merc.
I
Again.
forgot his number, but I saw the way it was driving, and I'm like, this is Martin, isn't it?
Well, this time he is the only one being at the tail end on this collision. As we see Mr. Bob, yeah, there was a slight tap, and that's
He
what
touched,
happened.
Yeah.
He clipped the
Wall.
wall where it
And then
opens up.
clipped through the wall.
Yeah, where it opens up for the safety cruise, and this is Martin just driving into the wall.
Yeah,
I would
probably
blame
the safest
hot
place
tires.
for him to be.
He just forgot to turn. I cannot explain it any better.
Yeah.
What
True,
are?
actually.
What is the steering wheel?
As
So we have 2 laps to go. Sorry.
Yeah, 2.5 more likely. This is Gunsis being all the way down in 16th place, right behind Rotrix 2 and Carl PC. And Tommy's is right behind, so that's another train going on around the mountain. Guys are gonna get feisty now. This is the last few laps of a race, and it's gonna determine your starting position. And as we saw from that start might be really important, as I strongly believe that, well, Jam would have had a better time this race if he wasn't stuck behind Mr. Bob. Mr. Bob defended nicely and basically let Shocky get away as he defended well and kept his positions. We see side by side by Gunses and... Oh, Jesus Christ. That did not end well for Gunses. Who did he clip? I don't know.
I don't know. It was kind of a blur. Then again, everything's kind of a blur right now.
Yeah, and we see
what a
more
dude.
side by side up the mountain. And still more side by side. One of the Mercs is fighting the Team UK.
Oh,
Still side by side up the mountain.
Somebody
And
has
up-
balls.
Mr. Thomas is joining the fray and double overtake. All of them hug the wall there, and apparently all the other things were just lag. But this is one of the Team UK's car, which would be Rotrex 2, getting overtaken by 2 cars on the way up the mountain. This is some incredible stuff right here.
yeah, they're definitely putting the hammer down.
Great move from NCW though.
Yeah, really ballsy
is.
move and very opportunistic from Mr. Thomas. Saw the gap still open and put another car through.
Yeah, and now he's going to go for him on the straight. Tommy's definitely trying to redeem himself from whatever that was going down the mountain the wrong way. Whatever
And
that may be.
He's already
Pass.
through by the way. NC is trying to look for a return move right here into the chase. He's gonna go for the inside. Oh, there is a side swipe. This is a Scott McLaughlin moment. And actually, Rotorix 2 makes his way past both of them. Well,
Karma.
that lap was for nothing.
And
Also,
it all comes
Let's try that again next lap.
Also, it really reminded me of 2016 Bathurst 1000. A bit of a sideswipe into the chase, and the other car almost colliding, making it a three-way. As Maestro does, I don't know what he just did. He just pushed Neon onto the way, spun himself, and a few seconds earlier on the straightaway he managed to get his car into the grass.
I think that's what you call learning how to drive in Russia.
I don't think that's learning, as... Whoa, Jesus.
The hell was that?
That Lamborghini learned how to not kiss the wall. That is Moose being destroyed by the cotton, and who is that? That's Powers 2 for 40 getting back into 11th position with the help of
Interesting
Moose's
physics.
issues. Yeah.
Moose has issues with physics.
Me's tend to do that, yes.
Yep. Wait, what?
What?
What did you just call them?
Me's.
What?
Awkward.
Anyway, as he feels it English again, where are we in the race? Well, obviously, Sharky's what? Moose is floating now. Oh, God. So, obviously, Sharky's up front. I can't see who's in second because it's cut off. Who's in second again?
That
Gem
could be
Knight.
Gem Knight. I'm still
Gem Knight
also... I'm also gonna be waiting for one Canadian that's gonna prove that Mies is the real plural. So go fuck yourself. Continue.
Yeah, Canadian. Canadian.
Yeah, better than you lot. Either way.
They have two good bands and maple syrup. That's about it.
I'm
Anyway, the Finns do it better, and so do you guys.
No, they don't.
Pike... Yes, they do. Fuck off. And
Patrick Line is overrated. Go fuck yourself. Either way.
Piker in fourth.
Kind
Can
of
I
getting
say
off
that?
topic here, are
He's
we?
in fifth place. George and his cunt ass is in sixth. Master Bob is in seventh. I'm in eighth
Master
after
Bob?
the first
Did
lap.
you just say Master Bob?
Yes, Master Bob. I'm in eighth after the first lap calamity and some defense. Ponchik in ninth after his adventures, and 10th in Neon Tiger. Holy Moose only in 11th place. As we scroll down through the rest of the field, Panda's doing
I would say
decently well.
already in 11th.
Yeah.
Who's
sure.
already in 11th?
Moose?
Moose.
Yeah.
After his
It's-
issues. And
Sure.
Gunsis tries to go round the outside of Team UK car in turn 2.
Ruda.
And not successful yet, as there is a possibility for a crossover heading into the cotton, but nothing right there. Nice overtake.
Well done.
Please proceed with the list.
It doesn't really get very interesting until you look down at Panda in 18th. He's doing well. A couple guys down there with various calamities throughout the race. Smart Pipe in 21st. Sevi in 20th. Ooh. He can't be happy about that. I've seen some of his videos. He's the least animated of all of them, but yeah. I feel bad for him sometimes because he does get caught up in a lot of shit. And then our usual suspects down at the ass end. But at the not ass end, we have Sharkey finishing a race. Whoa.
What a surprise. That is
You-
completely unprecedented. As Scoot
Oh!
goes for a dive bomb on the Piker on the last turn, and that could have ended a lot worse than it did. What the fuck, Squid?
Squid got his tentacles out and decided he was going to make Piper into his little Japanese girl.
Mr. Thomas and Carl PC, meanwhile, going into the chase side by side. The last time in this race, Carl gets onto the brakes later, but outbrakes himself into the chase, and Thomas is able to go around the outside into the last turn. Carl is
good
too
pass.
far to make a return overtake happen, and he's gonna finish ahead of Thomas is gonna finish ahead of Carl.
Well done from him. What more is there to say? He had an interesting moment, but then some really heads-up driving to make the overtake. Didn't end up sticking it in the end, but then very last lap gets himself an easy position. Well done to him.
Very true, and finishing the race, a couple of drivers still on the track. The last of them being Mach 1 Fireman, another weekend to forget for the guy. Not really happy with the car. Not really happy with the track. So it's
Not really happy with his competitors. Not really happy with the weather. Just not very happy in general.
What weather? Assetto Corsa does no weather.
The 20-something degree Australia.
Oh yeah,
weather.
21.
Yeah.
That's realistic. And the Corvette manages to avoid being last by the matter of a couple of seconds, which is already a success for American Motorin. As we see our sprint race winner, Sharky, again.
Fuck you.
What a surprise. What?
What just happened?
You're terrible.
I'm gonna get so much shit for that. That's so good.
Always. Those flags aren't moving in the background. Did somebody, like, spray them with Scotch Guard or something?
They are moving.
We have
a
the
little
results
bit.
from the sprint race. Sharkey up front. Surprise of the century. Gemini behind him. Astonishingly, only 7 seconds. Wow. Psychedelic in 3rd place, the first of the Glicks. A good race for him. Very good race for him, actually. Iker in 4th place with Spooky Squid in 5th. Georgian takes 6th place. Mr. Bob in 7th. Age of Mulder in 8th. 9th. Master Ponchik and Ian Tiger in 10th place.
11th is the Holy Moose with a nice recovery after the turn 1 incident. Power Stu for 40 claims 12th position. Mr. Tommy's and Carl PC, 2 rookies in 13th and 14th. Gunsis with a race to forget in 15th place, right behind him Rotrix 2. NCWG in a Mercedes up in 17th, right behind him is Panda, and more than a minute behind Jump in 19th and Sebi in 20th.
Then we have Smart Pipe, another rookie. Then we have in 22nd Marzen, followed by Rebel Cowboy, and then we have the Corvette with Les Cubes on 24th. And then at the end we have in 25th Mac 1 Fireman and Magnet OS, who didn't finish the race.
Because of me. My bad. Actually, didn't
No. You spun him out in a second lap, and I think he crashed after that. Like in the
Yeah,
fourth
no,
lap, and I
it
think
wasn't
then
just because of me, but I helped him along. It's like that assisted suicide thing the Dutch are into.
As a typical American, you started all this shit and then got away with it.
I think what also very interesting is are the fastest laps. With Sharky in first with a 2:08, and then followed by Spooky with a 2:09. So there's still a second.
Nice drive for Squid, and he's gonna be starting at the head of a pack in the feature race, which might help him get into a decent position at the end of a weekend. As we see right here, the weather stays the same. We're just gonna have double the laps here in Mount Panorama circuit for the feature race of the weekend. This is...
So, Mulder, what chicane did you mean last time or earlier?
What chicane did I mean? The chase.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you forgot the name of the chase?
I'm drinking quite
That was
heavily.
so hard to remember.
Jesus Christ.
Fuck all of you. We won World War II and we won the Cold War, so fuck off. And we're gonna lose the second Cold War, but that's nothing to talk about right now. Anyway, as we have the grid for the feature race, it might look distinctly familiar. Sharky in front, but the Holy Moose... Wait, hang on.
Yeah, I fucked up there. Don't mind me. Either way, you see the rest of the grid, we just announced it a couple of moments ago, so there's no way reciting it again, but for your viewing pleasure, enjoy a minute of filler.
The Holy Moose is there twice.
But yeah, I agree with you on World War II, we didn't exactly win it, and I do agree with you on the Cold War, we did win it. Wait,
what?
well, one thing for certain, Germany didn't win any of that.
No, Germany hasn't won a war since frickin' Holy Roman Empire.
I mean...
As we see a building.
Ooh.
Yay!
And a cab.
That is one triggered pussy.
Speaking of which, why did Kudos...
things you shouldn't say to your girlfriend.
Oh, this could have been one hell of a segue if I knew what to segue into.
Get a phone call from mother. Hey, we were watching one of your triggered pussy. What the fuck?
Oh, Jesus Christ. This is going downhill rapidly.
It is. Also, whoever did the mod here, I think that the Australians attached their flag to the poles with the Union Jack side, not the other side.
Well, the fact of Australians attaching anything to anything and not being too lazy to bother is simply astonishing even on itself.
True, better than New Zealanders, though, who would try and have sex with it.
Only if it has wool. But we're
Wait, the soft furry coat can... what? Those cars are sinking in... What the hell, Australia? Are you, like, parking in quicksand?
Well, it's Australia. If you don't get your car buried in the ground, it's gonna be carried away by a band of mad kangaroos or something. I don't know.
True.
Either way.
Where the hell are we going with this?
Nowhere as usual, as we're about to get going. In the last race of this season, race 12 of Conelanders, GT3 League, just moments away from lights out. 26 drivers will take the start, and 16 laps later the season will end, and Maestro will most likely take the title because he has a big enough gap to secure the victory already, but the fight for second is still alive. Biker is starting fourth, and he needs a good finish to keep his second from Gem Knight.
It looks like we have something attached to our cars.
Yeah. Are you guys
It's
cheating?
like, it's like Death Stranding.
Alright, off we go.
5 red lights, they're about to turn green, and we are away in Mount Panorama. Cars bumping and grinding already, even before turn 1. 2i going, Sharky is in the lead, safe and sound. I don't see any cars spinning as of yet, so it might be a better start than the sprint race. Also, lag is gonna be way less significant here for your viewing pleasure, and because you really should be sick and tired of it after 8 laps of cars grinding the walls. Shirka is still in the lead. Gem Knight secures second position, and Psychedelic stays third, but I see something ridiculously blue, I believe in fourth. Yes, it is. And Hugh had a great start here and jumped from, what was that, 8th up to 4th position ahead of everybody else.
Yeah.
Told you he was cheating.
I
Was
found
one
the
of
gap
his
and I
lines.
went for it. Now, is this the third of the 3, if you know what I mean?
Yes. Yes,
Okay,
it is.
so-
There were a couple of jump starts.
No, there was one jump start for me. There were 2 aborted starts. Thankfully, one of the aborted starts was when I jump started.
And when we say jump started, he was away probably a couple of seconds before the lights went out. He was ahead. He was ahead of Sharky by the time it went green. That's how bad it was.
I was just like, look, Ma, I'm leading a race.
For a lap
This
until
is
he has
never
to
gonna
serve a
happen
drive through.
again.
But either way, some technical difficulties prevented us from continuing, so this is the third start of a race, so people took it more cautiously, thank hell.
Yeah, definitely, because then we would have had to keep restarting. I think in the first one, Moose got taken out and triggered a restart because he got triggered.
And in the second one, people got kicked for crashing too much.
Yeah. So, there were legitimate reasons for the other restart.
Kudos.
Kudos,
Pretty
yes.
much.
That's almost a legitimate reason for a restart. As cars have completed 1 lap in the feature race,
My god.
no major incidents in the top half of the field as far as I'm concerned. The cars are still quite close to each other, so that's gonna happen inevitably as we see Lamborghini diving inside of Neon Tiger in the helicorner. He's gonna have a slow exit of turn 1, but he has all the power to compensate for it. Side by side, that would be Moose still trying to get ahead. He actually lost the position. He's now 12 behind Jump. He clears Neon Tiger, and the other Lamborghini tried to find some space, but nothing there. as Moose is gonna try to recover once again after he taps the wall in turn 2.
Yeah, but the Sweet 16 Lambo definitely has the pace on the straights. We've known that for a long time.
Oh.
Although he's not making things easy for himself doing that with a wall. That looked a little bit scary.
Still side by
A
side,
little bit.
Tiger decides it's better to keep the car in one piece than get in a position, as this would be Smart Pipe who actually pitted on lap 2.
Or was it a jump stop?
No, that was a legitimate pit stop.
No one else jumped in any of them. I was the only one who jumped, I think.
I don't know what to say about it. The legitimate strategy was either soft. Whoa, and that's Mr. Bob with terrible luck again being turned around. We're gonna have to see a replay of that, but Mr. Obazuda Mobadic says Neon Tiger taps the wall down the mountain, doesn't lose.
Was it English or Russian?
Either way, stays facing the right way, doesn't lose any places, but lost a bit of time as Master Ponchik is mudding an attempt of an overtake on Spooky Squid side by side. Two teammates in Lamborghini with different liveries. Whoa! Great defense from Squid as he goes around the outside to secure the position in the chase.
Yeah, people, it seemed like they were taking lap 1 a little bit easier after the multiple restarts, but lap 2 they decided, alright, well, we're done with that, fuck it, let's kill each other. More aggression, we'll have to see a replay of the incident on the mountain, like you said. But people are starting to fight for it. It is the last race of the season, and so no chance beyond here to make up points. You got to do it now, and so everyone's going balls out.
So right now we have
out of the track.
Oh, another pit from NCW. They did that in the South as well. Pitted very early, and for the NCW it worked out. I think he finished in 6th, so they might go for the same strategy. But I was actually about to say Mr. Bob is now in 15th, so he has to make a big recovery drive to get some points.
True. As I don't think that any team tactics are going on here at all.
Absolutely, nobody is
none
holding
at all.
Biker back to allow his teammate to pass him.
No one would ever do that. Although, to be fair, after the start, that was a little bit weird.
As we see a little bit of team tactics going on from two cars which are carrying the best livery that has ever graced Bathurst.
Pretty much. Yeah, no,
First
at
time I
this point,
saw
I was
it.
on the radio saying, Ilya, if you fuck this up, I will catch the next flight to St. Pete.
At this point,
So don't fuck it up.
At this point, he slides out wide and almost steps the wall in for his helmet. And I was considering rear-ending him a little bit.
These things do happen.
As a lot of overdrive and with help of a draft, the overtake is done and dusted even before the bend is reached, not even talking about chase. Biker was looking on the inside, but too far to make a move happen, and there's an overtake complete as team backmarkers have a 4-5 going.
Yeah. So we get some replays here of the start. Panda attack. Is he going to attack somebody? Let's wait and see. Oh, no, he's going to get attacked. Jesus.
Jump!
Chomp was like, nope, see ya, motherfuckers.
Threatened the needle, and he actually gained a lot of places, at least 5 positions from what we saw.
Wow, what a start.
Fantastic start by the Brit.
Yeah, no, that was good. Just the perfect amount of wheel spin. Got traction and just launched. I see Panda there getting out of the throttle a little bit, and that's going to allow whoever that was to come up behind him.
Oh,
Going to be an overtake here. Oh, nope, there's going to be a pass.
He
Panda.
is airborne. He is airborne. And, yep, same corner, same things.
Fatality.
We saw most of the field getting through the start early on, but we didn't see that, and the rear half of the field got absolutely demolished as Les Gibbs tried to slow down, but whoever was behind him decided that brakes are for pussies.
Martin, did you have to ask?
no, I think it was.
Oh! Wow.
Oh, that was Magnet, okay.
Dead. Shh, no it wasn't. We're going to see here, late-breaking Mercedes. This isn't going to end well.
Pipe, who still tries to make the corner and spins himself. Yeah, He wasn't making the turn. I would have just cut straight across, just keeping the car safe. As I assume that's what happened to Mr. Bob, the end of that we saw live. See him losing down the mountain. That's the easy way to lose it. And he got tapped by at least 4 cars, make it 5. That strings him out in the end.
Imagine if we had damage on in this series.
Nobody would finish. As we see Corvette having...
What?
What the hell?
Wonders of American engineering, everybody.
Did he just shit himself and have to run to the toilet or something? That's the only reason I could see that sequence of events happening.
I don't know what happened, but it was definitely not how that was supposed to go. Mach 1 fireman still disagrees with his Glickenhaus tank slapper, another one that ends up in the wall.
Well, to your comment about the Corvette, it's an American car. It's American. It never goes the way it's supposed to go.
Yeah, no arguments here. Biker was a little bit loose out of the last corner, which allowed Mr. Thomas to catch up, but backmarkers tried to be a little bit cute and race each other early on, which absolutely did not help, and Biker has all the speed in the world, but he will have to stay on the outside for turn 2 unless he manages to shut the door right here, which he's not able to do. Late braking from 34 car, Biker goes round the outside and secures the position. Mr. Thomas will be having a look right there. He was very close. Is he? Not anymore. Look down the inside once again. Nothing there. Mr. Thomas has the outside line, but too far away to poke his nose in, and the train is gonna continue as is.
Yeah, it was a bit of a calamity trying to race one another. I rolled out of the throttle a little bit on the mountain straight to try to get you up and past Piker. Had to make sure to complete that sentence. And it didn't work out in the end. Piker, heads-up driver. This is definitely Miata series driver, not Mugello Piker. Driver, Piker.
Definitely.
You know what I mean.
Piker is seriously fighting for the 2nd place overall, and he is now 3 positions behind Gem Knight, so he really needs to clear this back and put the throttle down. So he really wants to clear everyone as soon as possible.
The problem with having a draft train like this is, I mean, yeah, okay, I've cleared a bit because of year battles and whatnot, but really, somebody gets ahead of this train, but then they're really not able to pull away. Again, with the strengths of all the different cars coming in at different points, it's hard to break free from the train.
Very true. The best place to do that is blazing speed through the mountain. This is where you can get enough of a gap that you jump out of the forest elbow far enough to break it.
Yeah, I think it's very important to stay calm here, because for example, if Tommy tries to overtake you, for example, in the next corner, and he fucks it up, he will lose at least 2 positions because both of the Lamborghinis will pass him on the straights. Never mind.
Yeah, this is actually a valid point. In a long train like this, you have to move. You have to think twice before making a move, because if it ends up not working, you're risking losing more places, because there are a lot of cars behind you.
It's where the experience aspect comes in. Again, we say it a couple times, but you and me have been sim racing how many years, Ilya? I mean, like, we've been doing this a long time, so that's sort of the ability to measure a move before you make it, take a couple variables into account and decide, is it a good idea, is it not a good idea? How do I position my car? What do I need to do to break free from this guy? Being able to do all that thinking quickly and efficiently is key around here, because, well, I mean, like you said, you can try a move and try to do something half-assed, but the nature of this track means if you pull it off, then fine, but if you don't, then you're really screwed.
It also demands a lot of concentration, which is taken away from a pure driving skill. So, on some tracks you can automate the process easily of just driving, maybe not at your top speed, but at an acceptable speed. But here at Bathurst, it's really difficult to get it right and automate it. We spent thousands of laps on this track, so we can do that, which is also really helping us to achieve more than usual
For our cars.
Yeah, for our normal position in the standings here.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and the other thing too is you may have noticed I switched to a much more defensive style. It's because in the sprint races when I recognized, okay, my brakes are fucked. Like I realized the problem there, and so I've kind of adapted my the technique I used in Germany, which is defend like a motherfucker. I know I'm not going to be able to pull away, but I know that I can defend. So it's not a matter of trying to set the blitzing laps, but just keep the car on the track, manage the problem, and as far as the rules will allow me, block the bejesus out of the person behind me.
Yeah, we still have a train going, which is now what, 7 cars long?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah.
Yeah, as I count with my fingers and toes, 7 unless somebody wrecks right about now. As Maestro tries to go inside of...
Maestro is coming. Yes, they will.
As Maestro dives inside of Mr. Thomas there, still side by side, heading into the cut, and that's gonna be an advantage for Mr. Thomas, who is doing absolutely the right thing and giving Maestro the minimum, absolute minimum space, driving him to the outside and securing the position. So we have a little bit of Lamborghini cavalry going here.
Yeah, and what I would do in if I were Moose or Squid, I would try to undercut, because now is the time to undercut. I think the mediums will last long enough, or even go with hards if you can drive with them, because stuck in traffic costs you a lot of time, as we saw with Gemnut in the sprint, stuck behind Mr. Bob. But I think it's very important to now think about a strategy to get some free space in front of you.
Especially now that Thomas is creating a secondary train almost. If these Lamborghinis want to dance with the 3 in front, yeah, I agree that would be a good strategy. My only contention with that is we saw during practice that the hards were not good tires. They really haven't been at any place during the season, especially with Australia being uncharacteristically cold thanks to the Lord and Savior Moose.
The other thing about pits is the fact that softs will last just about 8 laps. So if you opt for mediums, you're able to pit earlier and last longer on the track, but you will lose speed as soon as the cars go back on track. So it's question whether you're able to pull off a successful undercut and then clear onto your place and defend the ever-living shit out of everyone. As Thomas gets a nice shove to Piker. That is not good, as 2 of them go past Piker as a result. I want to see a replay of that, but yeah, that was a rear end if I ever saw one. So you're basically trading a soft compound for medium if you pit early.
But the mediums themselves weren't that much, from what I found at least, that they weren't that much slower than the softs. I opted for mediums during the entire race just because I knew what they could do. I knew they were stable. And again, with the braking issue that I was having, I knew that stability is pretty much what I needed to have. I couldn't afford to be wrestling a car and trying to figure out, am I going to be able to stop in time going into the chase?
Well, I think...
I was on softs this entire weekend, and keep going, Trempale.
No, go on now. You started your sentence.
That's all the information I wanted to give out.
Oh,
He
okay.
had gone soft the entire weekend.
Okay, yeah, well, that's interesting. No. We have Mr. Bob and Magnus in the pits now, or they pitted like a lap ago, so they tried to do an undercut.
Piker lost another position there, didn't he?
Yeah, he crashed after the long straight. He like hugged the wall on the right side.
Yeah, no, because I knew he lost the 2, but then it was like, wait, he's 3 cars back now.
Yeah, he's in
now,
the Lamborghinis there.
Now it looks like Maestro's going to try to dance with us. We just keep trading off third partners for our dance here. It was Piker, and now it's Maestro. It'll be Tommy's next, probably, and then, just keep circulating.
And now it's a Russian dance, so nothing will be fine anymore.
I've tried to dance Tchaikovsky. It doesn't end well. You can see right there the differential there, how much Georgian's able to close up on me in that braking sector. That wasn't braking early. That's how early I had to brake.
Yeah, that's humongous difference in braking, and Maestro is looking for some space to overtake as Carl PC is trying to go around the outside. Absolutely wrong braking zone as...
Van Giesbogen, mate.
as
That's a
he
fight
goes,
that was going on for a couple of laps now.
yeah,
Sorry.
and Team UK car also passed thanks to this mistake. We have quite a few cars beaten after lap 7. That's Psychedelics, Biker. Biker, I think Biker also missed his pit box. That's a disaster race for him.
Only
Oh,
slightly. It's not
that-
horrid, but you're definitely not ideal.
That must suck, especially knowing that Gemknight is doing fine in second place, and that's your rival for the second overall. We are going back to the train. Matt is slightly holding up everyone still, but
Slightly.
the softs are no longer able to grip well. So you see
Nope.
a lot of sideways. We also
Mark 1,
were
huh?
able to see,
Like
one
looking
of
at
the
us.
beer and whiskey cars facing the
Yeah,
wall there.
had the 52 on it.
Okay, and yeah, you see a lot of sideways movement in that BMW now. It's not cooperating anymore, and Maestro is looking for a pass. Obviously, no space there. Down the mountain, he has to wait for a straightaway.
I think Thomas is hoping for one of you three, or at least one of you three, to crash.
Yeah. Well, it wouldn't be self-induced, I don't think, at this point. Right about now, even though George and Sires are dying and mine are in second rate, I mean, we've at least found a rhythm here, and we're definitely synchronizing a lot better than we did in France. We know what we're doing. We're managing the guys behind us well, and it's just going to be a matter of pit stops, who can get out first. And, well, Maestro's able to get by George, but George is never really the big roadblock here. That would be me. So getting by him is one thing, but then all I have to do is conveniently slow myself in a couple key areas, and I can get you back up in front. But no, what we're going to do instead is come in for the pits.
Yeah, that's
All four of us.
group pitting by everyone, jumping all the curbs on the way in. That
So who's
is
gonna miss the pit?
one of the most difficult pit entries on the calendar. All the cars streaming back. We see Mach 1 fireman in the pits as well. Sharky and Gemknight both pitted. That would probably be the main pit window right there. We see a couple of replays. That is Mach 1 fireman.
With the interesting parking spot.
Yeah, and that's what happened. A little bit too much curb. And
Ooh.
into the wall he
Hot
goes.
tires.
I prefer the parking spot he took as opposed to that one. That would have been bad.
And
Oh.
as he goes down the hill, and I think he just parks it. I think that would be the race for Mach 1 fireman as he parks the car in the skyline, and we're seeing what happened to Magnet. What happened to Magnet
Here.
is Rebel
Yeah,
Cowboy.
here. Ooh.
They got
Yeah.
a little bit of oversteer going, run away, mate.
Trying to flick spin it, but he probably has TCS on. Didn't turn that off.
Bogged down
Um,
a lot, and I think he also managed to stall it and slowly gets away in that Lamborghini. And back to
That was an FS
Piker.
torque.
Back to Piker. He ended up behind Panda after his pit, who is seriously down on pace, and
Ooh,
he.
nope. Curb.
Wow, what a disaster!
Probably getting a
Everything-
little too over enthusiastic trying to make up for the pit stop and just blew himself.
Probably just wanted to clear Panda that he was not racing him, and I believe Panda was slowing
And
him
hot
down.
tires.
And another one, yeah, hot
tires,
and
Oh, lucky that there's nobody coming.
everything that could have gone wrong did go wrong for him.
Now we just need him to have like a connection failure or something or whatnot. that would just cap it
Oh.
off.
Both Chucky and Gemknight get out one after the other, and they are going in tandem out on the track, and that can possibly lead to something halfway through the race, and Sharky is not completely alone.
Oh, one Bergmark is standing a really long time there.
A
Yeah,
bit
that
of a
would have been
longer-
George and slow pit stop and Moose.
Speaking of slow, that is Maestro who pitted with both
Or
backmarkers,
Maestro, wow.
and he is just now leaving the pits.
What the hell? What happened to him? Were they all doling out the martini early?
Whatever happened, he lost about 10 seconds.
He had to switch the wheels himself.
Well, I did that for the last 3 weekends, it wasn't that bad. Pit config did
Yeah.
not work.
5 seconds? Something
No,
like
I meant literally because everybody in the box and the pit was
Oh.
drunk.
Oh yeah, Well, yeah, that will explain it. Either way, Gem Knight is still hunting down Sharky on lap 9. They're not too far away, and I wonder if Sharky is holding them back a little bit.
I think Sharky's just holding the tires back. Normally, I might say, ooh, maybe there's something here, but I mean, Sharky's just so consistently faster than everybody. He's probably just playing it easy. He's managing the gap in his mind. He knows what he has to do. And I bet you if he closes up, if these two close up on one another, you'll see Sharky just start to bang out the fast laps.
Probably, but there's another factor here.
Something happened to Moose, because he lost 3 positions.
Maybe another slow pit stop, as we see Carl being a cork in the bottle for Matt and Squid. Carl has not pitted yet, so he is not ready. Oh my god, what are you two doing?
We're having a little fun.
Side by side, into the chase.
Ah! Fucking hell.
Oh, Jesus Christ, and he is gonna fly into the chase. He is not gonna stop.
Oh,
Yep, I could see that coming. Matt, what the fuck
Nice
did
one,
you
Matt.
do?
I didn't even know he was there. I didn't even know, even in the post race when he was talking about that, I was just like, "What do you mean you were still inside me?" Shit.
That's where Rocket League quick chat works
That's
with
gotta be the quote
calculated.
of the race.
Oh
It
god.
was so small, I didn't even notice, you know. Oh,
We are
God.
going full Valencia.
We're drinking enough. We might as well. I'm not sick though, sadly.
We just need to tell the German to film it
Sadly.
next time.
Yeah, come on, Trempale.
I thought you were recording.
See, at least he plays along with it. Marvin was just like, "Oh my God, I can't believe he says that."
No. Marvin was pretending he didn't do it every single time.
God. But yeah, in all seriousness, I did not know he was still on the inside. I didn't. I came back, and yeah, shit happened. I've had a few adventures here. It's been an interesting race, but it's been fun, I guess. Maybe.
Definitely. Meanwhile, Psychedelics, who was in third, is now stuck. Oh, Jesus.
I
Well,
just
he's not.
died.
He's
like a wrecking ball.
He's not stuck anymore after almost spinning himself in the forest elbow. He was behind Neon Tiger, who is also yet to pit. We see what happened here to Carl. I believe that was pre-calamity in the chase. Whoa, gets into the wall in the skyline. Easy place to lose it, and here we see what happened. Absolutely swiped by Matt, and
That is so calculated.
that's impossible to stop it on the grass right there, and Squid was the unfortunate victim of that entire thing. We see it from the perspective of the Squid. I don't think he ever saw him until the impact, as he comes right across.
That's one way to clear someone off your rear.
Slow-mo time. Oh, did you see that Kunos mechanic?
I don't think there was enough space for two cars.
No, there really wasn't. If I hadn't swung in, I wasn't going to make the turn, but I wouldn't have swung in. I would have backed out of it if I had known it was there. So
Also, a little bit unlucky for Squid there, as we see that Carl missed the gravel trap by a tiniest of margins. That would have slowed him down enough to let Squid by.
Yeah, for sure.
As we see wheels clipping through the car. Good job, Kunos.
Yeah. What is geometry? Geometry is a social construct. Like
As we
gender.
Oh, stop.
Let's
Just
not
stop.
go here. No, let's not.
Hey, respect my pronouns.
Keep going and Twitter will ban you.
Keep going and drink a lot more. Oh, is that the next time? Oh, okay.
The other backmarker's car attempted an overtake, and Carl decided to leave the track willingly this time around.
Fuck this shit. He's coming back for me.
Where's Spooky Squid?
He's not dealing with that shit twice in 2 laps. And we are on lap 11 of the feature race. We have Powers 2 for 40 in the lead. Speaking of, he hasn't beat it
Careful
yet.
what you just said. Oh boy.
Yeah, there's a battle between Matt and Mr. Thomas for 5th place. Thomas is gonna be on the outside, has to swing around with good speed. He brakes way too much and allows number 91 BMW back through. But yes, Powers is in the lead, he hasn't pitted, but still the pit is not that long, so he is competitive. He's competitive this weekend.
No, he's definitely having a good race. A couple people are having good races that you don't normally see all the way up front. Carl hasn't pitted yet either, but he was not too far off the pace of us before I ensured that he wasn't.
Psychedelics is having the race of his life.
Yeah, the last
being
2 races.
pretty much 3rd as soon as Powers pits.
Yeah, Psychedelic for sure. He's definitely man of the race as it stands now. Keeping his head, keeping clean, keeping calm, and keeping what is by all accounts the inferior car all the way up the field. We've seen other drivers do it before. Cone, before his mistakes in Silverstone, had the glick way up front. We've seen Mr. Bob do it a few times. But in general, we don't really see the glicks perform that well. As I'm going to shut up about that because we have hell of a battle going on here.
Calpisi provides excitement once again, create another train. Right behind him is Mr. Bob under the attack of 2 Lambos from either side. That's gonna be a Spooky Squid followed by Gunsis, the resident Latvian. Round the outside go Lamborghinis, very close to what happened between Matt and Carl. Oh Jesus. Oh Jesus, and he just swipes him out of the way. That's a little bit of a Marson driving right there from Squid.
But the light flash made it okay. Flashes lights. I'm coming up your inside. Giggity boom.
Well, to be honest, he tried to stretch the tire compound. Shut up. And ended up being in the middle of a ballast. Oh, Gunsis! Oh, Jesus, Gunsis.
Okay.
Tried to deliver some instant karma right there by spinning Squid, who spun Carl. Speaking of Carl, he is in the pits right now, down to 16th, and Powers has pitted and rejoined right behind 2 Lamborghinis in P10.
Damn it, Carl.
How did he not catch him? Gunther had such a slow exit out of the turn 1.
I don't know what happened there.
Whoa.
Whoa, a little bit overcooking there by Powers. Probably some new tires, so he has to readjust back to where that braking and that momentum was. And Gunsis is probably not taking the line he is used to, as Lamborghini is not the best car to go right there on the mountain.
Yeah, for sure. It's hotting up here. A couple of the sedate first quarter to the race, I'd say. The second quarter was dominated by, well, the back markers train, and now as we're about to enter the fourth quarter, things are starting to get a little bit more feisty. I think the reality's setting in with a lot of these people that oh shit.
There was a jump in Skyline facing the runway.
The reality's setting in with a lot of these people that this is the last race. This is the last opportunity to score. Your last opportunity for gold, for points, for women or men, whatever you're into. You have no other chances. You got to make it stick now. And the aggression's being turned to 11. How are we on the field? Well, Truckee is leading. Well, no surprise there. Jim Knight behind him. Still about a half-second gap, it looks like, as we focus back on Moi. Getting a little bit out of shape there, has to be said. In fourth, Tommy's in fifth, with Georgian in sixth. Not that far behind, especially considering the delay with the pit stops. I think at this point it was the team tactics were kicking in again. To a lesser degree, because I wanted to maintain the position myself. But I had pretty much given up on third place at this point, and it was a matter of, can I get Ilya by Tommy's? As we see a replay here of Squid coming in like a wrecking ball. And just, yeah. Boom.
Yeah, that was not even close. And that's what happened to Jump right there.
Ooh! He took someone with him. Was that Squid?
That's either Squid or Moose. I think it was Moose. He was further down the field. And actually, some smart driving by Jump.
Yeah.
Actually, reversing not on the track, but off the track, at the top of a mountain to avoid more crashing. But yeah, not even close for Squid, and jumped up the inside wall at McPhillips Park, and it's difficult to recover from there.
Yep. So, this battle looks like it's going to get tasty. Lap traffic coming up in form of a Corvette. So, yeah, I'm pretty much about to start flashing lights like a madman. My lights are already on. Get out of the way. Although, if I play this smart, I might be able to use him against Tommy's.
There's the light flash.
Yep. I may be able to use him against Tommy's if I position myself just right, slow him up. Well, that's one way to overtake. I did not think I was going to catch that car. Pooh came out during that maneuver. Yeah, it was fun afterwards. It was like, wow, I did that. During it, though, it was like, shit.
Well, looks like all 3 cars successfully cleared the Corvette and continue the battle.
But the gap is closed.
Gap's closed indeed. Mr. Thomas is in the middle of backmarker sandwich. Again, both of us probably can drive Bathurst with our eyes closed. So it's gonna be an interesting couple of laps for Mr. Thomas as we switch back to the lead couple, and Gemknight is still right behind Shark, and I think he's closer to him than he was. That half a second is pretty much, well, what Draft Pocket allows.
He is closer, but is it intentional or is it not? I still contend that Sharky knows what he's doing, but I've been wrong before.
I mean, it can be as intentional as you want it to be, but when there is a draft pocket and when you're that close from the car behind in the draft, it can all go out of the window if he's just faster. You can do nothing about it.
True. Yeah, and there's always the danger. I mean, yeah, I talk about how I'm playing games to try to close Ilya up, but I mean, if I screw it up enough, and if I don't calculate exactly what I need to do, I could just let the guy by, and then, well, I've screwed myself, basically.
Speaking of which, there's a lot of draft going there by Mr. Thomas. He has to go around the outside. This time, he is much faster, but his swing is too wide and doesn't have any space left. Nicely shut door by Matt right there, heading into turn 4. And this exchange actually allowed me to catch up even more, so that's a full-blown 3-car train right here. With 2.5 laps to go.
Definitely coming down to the wire, this one.
To be honest, about Sharky and Gemknight, they are in one channel, and Sharky knows that he's out of the points, basically, with missing 2 races, and he also knows that Gemknight is fighting for the 2nd position. Maybe he's just, I don't know, racing for fun now, and maybe gives Gemknight later the position for the championship.
That's
maybe.
sad. He knows that Gemknight is fighting Piker for the 2nd position, and Piker, after having all the incidents in the world, is all the way down in 12th. So it shouldn't matter for Gemknight if he is 1st or 2nd.
Does he know that? Oh yeah, right there in one cell. Never mind. Yeah.
Yeah, they probably know where everybody is. Well, he knows where Gemknight is, and the next car in the mirrors is Psychedelics. So he just knows that Piker is nowhere near. That's all he needs to know. As there was a little bit of wall touching in the Forest Elbow, but no harm, no foul so far.
Yeah, there are a couple moments towards the end where I was really trying to extend the limits of the car. Brush the wall a little bit here, brush the wall a little bit there. Pull off a weird overtake on a Corvette here. You know, that kind of thing. But the key thing is, you're right on his ass now. Combination probably of faster driving. I think he's on mediums, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. Lancia. Give us... what? I don't understand.
Give us 037 month. I think that's dirt rally.
Is obsessed with Lancia 037 for some weird reason. And just whatever. Let him be. As he definitely does not know how to flick spin, as the car wasn't even revved up when he started the maneuver. And Smart Pipe calmly points him towards the right way, and he gets back onto the track.
We cut back to the battle of the back markers and Mr. Tommy's.
And Red Bull and a Red Bull and 2 back markers.
So Toro Rosso. Is it Kvyat?
2 back markers, 1 Red Bull. Either way.
Well, you said back marker, so Kvyat came to mind.
Whatever. I'm still waiting for an American driver in F1.
Scott?
Oh!
No.
Definitely no speed there as Mr. Thomas loses it on the way to the cotton and slams the wall. He's not that far behind, but he lost the position and down to 6 as who is that slams the wall right there?
Moose.
Moose
Moose
and Powers.
Moose and Powers behind him, fighting for P10. Powers is having a great race and in the fight with a Lamborghini for the last couple of laps. We're gonna have white flags this time by, and the lead couple is still close together. Sharky pulled a little bit of a gap right there, maybe even for safety, as you said, for the long straight to avoid the extensive draft from Gem Knight. But Gem is gonna have to go now. There's not a lot of space on the mountain, and you have this straight and the Conrad to deal with Sharky. Oh, Sharky goes wide. That might be the chance. Sharky is in the wall a little bit. White flag, and Gemnet is ahead. Gemnet is ahead with 1 to go.
We're gonna see it
Did
here.
this really happen?
Sharky made a mistake, and if he was indeed managing the gap, he has to go full throttle now, and that might end up with a fight for the lead. As 2 back markers light the fireworks. This is gonna get feisty. 2 fireworks on the mountain with 1 to go. Side by side, number 91 car on the inside. You'll have a preferable line through here, but a slower exit, an attempt of a crossover nowhere near. A little bit of an overdrive. Mr. Thomas is looking for 2 blue cars to inevitably collide and wipe themselves out, as there is draft on the outside. You hanging on to the inside line. You really like that line. You really like the inside into turn 2, and trying it once again. Still side by side, not anymore. Still ahead, but there is a lot of speed to be had, and there is a possible crossover right there. Look down the inside, too squirrely to attempt. Backing out, and still 91.34. Bike markers trend continues, and Thomas is looking for a mistake from either one of us.
I've gotten used to taking that inside line from all the defending I had to do, to be honest. It is quite interesting because it allows you to defend pretty much all the way up if you time it right and how you swing the car around. But yeah, so the nice thing though is I got a better run up the mountain, so now I'm a little bit, I have a little bit of clear air behind me. Now you have to fend off Tommy's, who's all kinds of sideways. Oh boy.
Yeah, he's trying to push everything onto the car. Now I'm doing the same. Both cars going sideways on the mountain. This is not what you want to see. Oh, major sideways moment right there. Managed to keep it off the wall as we are back to Gem Knight, who's pulled insane gap to Sharky on the last lap. I don't think Sharky was managing anything. I think he was just defending well and holding him back. As Gem Knight crosses the finish line first, and Sharky did not win a race he participated in.
What the hell is this sorcery?
That is an insane turn of events, as backmarkers going to finish 4th and 5th unless something major happens in Murray's corner. Nothing as of yet. Mr. Thomas does not have a run here, and they're gonna finish as is. And also, worth noting, Psychedelics finishes the race in 3rd position. Fantastic drive from the German.
That German, not the one we have here.
No, he
Yeah.
drive.
Just
I know.
You know, I love this track, so I'm really sad I couldn't compete in it. It's like Spa, Monza, and Bathurst are my favorite tracks, and yeah, well, I will have another chance.
While Jump is celebrating, Jump is still just in full position on the last lap with one of the Mercs, the number 56 and CWG. They still have one corner to go. Merc is a little bit slow out of the chase, and Jump is looking, trying the outside move, maybe a crossover here, Merc is bulky, but John overcooks it a little bit and is not gonna complete an overtake, heading across the finish line to end the season. And the last car on the track, would you believe it? Maestro in a Lamborghini is actually gonna close out the last race of the season.
Yep, our very own rudderless Russian had a bit of a shocker. Just a bit.
That was not good. It all started on the pit lane with an insanely long pit and then went downhill from there as he completes the Murray's corner for the last time. Well, doesn't exactly complete it. Got spun around, and I think he's gonna finish this race in reverse. Yep, takes checker in reverse.
Like a champion.
But
Here's
unlike
the
the
winner
champion,
of
didn't
the
actually
feature
win
race.
anything.
Not even style points. Gem Knight takes the victory in the feature race. With a fantastic drive, managed to hang on right behind Sharky and actually wait for a mistake. One of those. But actually, Sharky wins the weekend with a better result overall. And as for this race, Gem Knight is the winner. Right behind him, 1.3 seconds is Sharky, 20 seconds behind is Psychedelics, then HMolder 5. And me, P4 and 5, best of rookies. Mr. Tommy's all the way up in 6th. Mr. Bob 35 seconds behind in a Glickenhaus 7th. And then the Lamborghini trio of Spooky Squid, Gunsis, and the Holy Moose.
I'd like to say I'm technically a rookie, so yeah, suck it. No, I'm kidding. Powers 2,440 gets P11 with Piker in 12th after some interesting moments. Neon Tiger and then Sebi, followed by Rotor X2, NCWG4, D-Jump, Magnet OS, RLPC 200, and Panda.
And then 21st we have Marson, 22nd is Smart Pipe, 23rd as we saw the backwards driving Maestro. And then not finishing the race, we have 24th Rebel Cowboy, then the Corvette with last cubes, and Mac 1 Fireman after his new pit stop. Yeah.
What was
as the final season standings, we're going starting from the last position. Jim's 32 with 13 points this season, as we had 32 drivers compete this time around. Viperian with 53.
He's been stuck on 53 for forever. 30th, Rotor X2 with 125. Big gap to Spooky Squid then in 29th. Rebel Cowboy in 28th with Servatis in 27th. Mr. Ronak with 233 points, followed by Les Cubes, who wasn't driving a car apparently, with 274. RLPC 200 is 24th, Marson 242, whatever, and Mach 1 Fireman above him. Smart Pipe 21st in a Mercedes.
And then we have Powers 2440 on 20th position, then before him Panda, then we have 1 point ahead, D-Chomp on 18th, then we have Sharky with missing 2 races in 17th, then we have Sebi in 16th, NCW's G4 in 15th, Neon Tiger in 14th, Psychedelics in 13th, and myself in 11th, I think. No.
I believe you're in 12th and 11th was Mr. Tommy's. Matt clings on to 10th position with me right above 9-10 for Black Marcus. Magnetos in Lamborghini 8th, Cone Dodger finishes 7th, the Holy Moose in 6th, Gunsis is in 5th, Mr. Bob, the best of Glickenhaus, in 4th, and the trio is Piker, Gem Knight, and Maestro Ponchik.
But anyway, team standings at the end of it. Space Kitties surprising everyone and their mother won. I know, right? With the BMW, second place Scandinavia and Immigrants, there were a lot of them, in second place with Red Bull behind in third. Team Dang in fourth, and other people, this is way too fast.
Well, Lamborghini takes the Makers Championship from BMW, and the rest of them, that doesn't really matter. Either way, this was a fantastic season of GT3. What follows next is the dual season of Porsche Carrera Cup and V8 Supercars. Until then, thank you Matt, thank you Trempale for being here in the commentary booth. And on behalf of them, I'm Ilya Babansky, and we'll see you next time with even more insane racing, terrible crashing, and hopefully great victories. Goodbye.
And worse commentary. I'm being held against my will. Thank you, everybody. Good night.